Hold up. Tuesday. And which one do you have? Some grape OG.
There's slurs for today.
How much money would it take for you to relapse?
Today?
Yes, well, today. I don't mean it changes all the time. So I mean, I don't mean in general. I mean this morning.
This morning, on Monday, I'm gainfully employed.
Lucky you.
I know. Right now.
Thank you.
One day, for me to get blitzed, 25 grand. If Mr. Beast, if Mr. Beast came by, and if he's doing a video where he's like, I'm giving $25,000.
Excuse me.
I would be one of them.
Oh my God.
I would be a part of
Yo, yo. What's up? U.S. troops deployed to 9 different cities. Let's go. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. U.S. Mexico border. That's the significant move for been noted. Eagle Paso, Paso, San Isidro, California. Total 9,600 service members, either deployed or scheduled deployed by mid March 2025. These efforts involve engineers, bombs, EOD basically, MPs, Air Force intelligence and analysts. So fuck, they got an entire ISR package. That's what they're saying. But I'll keep an eye out. I'll have the later on. Probably during the stream, I might set up the OSINT laptop and then see what we got going on. Oh wow, didn't think about that. Smart. Well, shit. How do I adjust that then? From now. Discussion. U.S. troops at the border. Do you agree? Yes or no, and why? I. Yeah, there we go. Here's a poll, guys. U.S. troops at the border. Do you agree or disagree, and why? My stance is I thought when I first did join the military, I thought our whole purpose was to protect the nation from an invading force. And that would mean go through the borders and then just keep everybody from coming in and create basically what like the US did for Israel, the creating that damn Iron Dome. That's what we're supposed to create for our own countries. not get out and go like it's a preemptive strike. No, that's why if you look at it from that standpoint, everything outside of just going to your borders and protecting it, and if somebody tries to come in, stopping them at the agreed borders, anything beyond that is not in defense of the country. And anybody that says, well, you got to go take them out where they're before they come, nobody's trying to come here. The only reason they try to come here is to stop us from going there. And that's just a cycle that I've witnessed. Maybe it started before I know it started way before I came to this earth, and the things that I'm learning from came to this earth. So there might be differences. But from my standpoint and just from experience, I think if we protect our borders and stay within our borders and then allow others to do so accordingly, and if they do need help, like work that accordingly, not try to get something from them. And then like fucking ask them if they want to be a part of the place, like you did with some people, instead of just taking them. Hawaii, they don't want to be a fucking state. We're just people on an island. Y'all show up and said 50th state, and they went, what the fuck? And then bred them out. Hey, but I'm high. Don't listen to me. You know what I mean? But troops at the borders? Or is that too toxic that nobody wants to touch it? I'll keep it there. Don't label. One of the crazy things is we as humans label actions, which are neutral in and of themselves. We label them, and depending on which side we're on, we label them according to our beliefs, which is crazy, you know. The same saying, one man's freedom fighter is another's terrorist. Bruh, everybody that I fought against was not the people that were shooting at us when we were in Iraq. You know what I mean? So far, we've got a yes. The so-called enemy that was pointed out to a lot of soldiers while we were deployed into those, at least from my experience, I'm not saying everybody's, the so-called enemy was a guy just like me doing the same thing for what he believes in. So from that standpoint, nothing but respect. But as far as the evil things, and like, bro, there's so much of that that's manufactured because that has to exist. I like look at the recent release of all this so-called classified information with JFK and all that, and they find out that his own government killed someone, a president, a sitting president. Our own government does that, and everybody's more focused on who squeezed the trigger. Or the driver, Lee Harvey. Oh, dude, they just confirmed that your own government killed your own president. Confirmed that all those conspiracy theories about Russia and communism and Lee Harvey, like confirmed that all of that was horseshit. I don't know. I'm starting to be convinced that bread and circus, the circus has shifted from entertainment to politics. And maybe, and just maybe, the system is the circus. And they're just making you worry about the bread and depend on the bread coming from the circus so you can keep paying attention to the fucking circus and not walking out of that tent and realizing that the fucking world's on fire. And they're clearing it out and building their control systems so when you walk out and come out of the daze and the food coma of the goddamn bread and circuses and your dopamine receptors are shot and you walk out and you're like, man, I don't even want to think about anything. And they go, hey, look at this nice place where you can live. Just don't complain and don't bitch and don't buck this system. You have to live this way. Again, but I'm high. Don't listen to me. They do it to military guys. They send them to all these crazy schools, and the first thing they do is they excite them to a certain point and then don't feed them and keep them up for a long period of time. Everything is all about food deprivation and sleep deprivation. And now they got Ozempic and cell phones for people to stay awake and literally deprive themselves of food forcefully because they don't have the self-discipline to understand that just because you've eaten does not mean that you've fed the requirements of this meat vehicle that you're riding in, which has a physiological requirement that has to be fulfilled every day, i.e., out and recharge in the sun, something that humans, I think that's what it was too, is because everybody was outside in the sun. We used to joke about it, the vitamin D deficiency, like the people that were pale because you just stay inside all the time, and now everybody stays inside all the fucking time. They stay inside so much nowadays that they fucking get out and go like, man, I was inside so much, let me go back inside and get a tan. Let me go pay what I could have went outside and there's a nuclear explosion. The fucking sky in space that you could have got that for free. Just go out, touch grass, lay in it. But no, I'll wait till the sun goes down and then walk inside a building and then pay somebody to shine sunlight on me. Or even crazier, sun gives me skin cancer, so being out there, let me go inside and then get in the fucking thing and have people turn on lights that they don't know how it affects your body. I mean, fast forward, we all know, we see all those leathery ladies walking around talking about back in the day, I was so bronze. No, you were medium baked. That wasn't fucking bronze. You were a turkey that was almost done. And now you look overdone. No moisture at all. We just went from the borders to leathery ladies. Welcome to my stream, yo. Oh, bro, the ladies says shout out to Blood. Bloodstained Believer is back. The ladies in the 80s are rubber bands now. Nah, beef jerky, homie, and not the good kind. The kind that like, oh shit, I gotta soak this in water before it can become jerky again. Jesus Christ. And even in the 80s, there was already the stereotype. It's like they knew. It's like this is not new. This cycle is repeating over and over again. They just call it Ozempic. Back in the day, they called it Dexatrim. You know, everybody and their mama was on the extreme until they went, "Hey, wait a minute, this is speed. You're ruining the cocaine industry." All right, fuck Dextrip, take it off, change ingredients, whatever. In the meantime, cocaine's still available. It seems like the war on drugs is just the war on things that work legally for people. Also, putting troops on the border, bro, you don't need you don't even need you don't even need a special unit or whatsoever, bro. You can take a regular BCT, a brigade combat team. You know what? Fuck that. Get one special trooper town because you have the MPs. They'll self sustain and put them at the border. There won't be any problems. Them people are disgruntled, pissed off, but have self control. So you put them on that border, just, you know how there's the duality of man? Put the hate side towards the outside of the border and the love side towards this side, you know? The business end that way. And them boys will take care of business. Just give them a really simple set of rules. This is the border. Actually, the border starts there. And that's why we have a mild standoff. So our boys over here have all the time in the world to tell the guy, hey man, are you really a refugee? Or are you about to catch a 308 center mass? And it's going to take a week before the competitions begin on who takes out what. And then it becomes a problem. And then more stringent shit at the border. Because you got to understand, man, the military is just a bunch of people at a job, right? Don't fucking forget that. They're just a bunch of people at a job. Social media has showed that to the world. All right, guy, thank you for your service. And then you see an 18-year-old playing koala hugging a tree upside down in the Balkans because he's bored. TikTok. You realize there's same fuck ups in the military. Bro, I was in the military for over 2 decades. And I'll tell you right now, it's not even a 50-50 split between the good and it leans towards the other way. And my whole time in the military, the amount of people that I would trust right now around my family members is right here. And I have their phone numbers. The thing with the like, all right, so let's stay in believer. I feel like the border situation is strange, and we can easily get a passport and go there, but they have trouble with it. Just why and why can't we help them get better at it? Wouldn't that solve everything? Yeah, but it's not our job to show them how to get passports. You know what I mean? They have their own process on the other side of the borders, and you can get a passport. Like for example, here's one. My a lot of my friends from Canada, and if you go to the border at Canada, it's a big open field. Walk right across. But all of them get passports and and fly over for the most part that I know of, because all my friends did come over here legally, and also because it's probably cold and you can't just like walk across like the cold is less forgiving. You can't just drink some water and survive. Like there's an actual caloric requirement because your output goes up just being cold. Yeah, but the, our process is simple in America, you know, and this is from a guy that came here as an immigrant. They don't question you as long as you have a passport coming in. Unless you're from like North Korea and you land, then they're gonna like, hey man, are you here under duress or whatever? But I'm saying this also under the privilege of what my parents' generation built, and they signed a treaty with America, which is pretty much the same. The only difference is that entry and exit is doesn't require a visa; it just requires an I-95. Yeah, it wasn't bloodstained, believer, but it was our job to go to Afghanistan or France, Germany, Japan, or Russia, or Ukraine. But we can't help people that want to help themselves. Wasn't our job. That is the system doing what the system does. We're humans, and there's things. This goes along the realm of, hey, a lot of people would just accept, hey, that's how we've always done it. Well, not true. That always happens when one thing overrides another, a belief system, and then they just don't want to, and you can't leave that belief system, you know? Well, I quit the job. This business sucks. Yeah, really is. Oh, fuck. Like, for real, for real? Like, did you really quit the job? But yeah, the fucking system in itself, I mean, again, eons of, what do you call it? Momentum. And like I said, humans on a good day will live to be 120. How much of that 120? Oh yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. The government in itself, you can't be mad at it because that's what a system is designed to do. Power is designed by design, designed to protect itself. Power protects itself, no matter how corrupt it is, just by design. Because power, the duality of everything and the cause and effect and the correspondence, these are not human, man. These are just those. It's just the rules of the universe, and you can. It has shit to do with belief. Like it doesn't matter what you believe. The fucking rules are the rules, and a system is designed to replicate itself. However, comma space, the system cannot lie to you. They are not allowed. Now, I will tell you this: just on the legal side, maritime law, they use Black's Law Dictionary, and they use the same words that the rest of the world uses as far as English. Oxford English Dictionary is what the rest of the world uses. What I'm using to talk to you, what you understand. These words are also in another dictionary called Black's Law Dictionary, and they mean something very specifically. And when it comes to maritime law, they go by the letter of the law. I say all that to say all this is out in plain sight. Business, taxes, IRS.gov will tell you how to not pay taxes. Anybody can go there and get an EIN for a nonprofit and turn your entire land and your trust into a foundation slash church for your family. And everything that you get and then whatever you guys work and hustle to do, you just throw in there and then use that to develop the people in your life. That's a church. And when you do it that way, they cannot even ask. The rules are they cannot even ask you what it's for. Is you're a 501c3 corporation or a 501c3 entity. You just got to have your board in place, and the rules are the rules. That's why every time people have some money, what do they do? Get a, oh, this is going to the so and so foundation, and it's their name, the Bill and Melinda Foundation, the whatever foundation, right? Because those are tax write-offs for the amount of money. Yeah. Also, put it in a land trust and put your entire family in as the beneficiaries. At the end of the day, man, like that's all they want, man. They just want the system is just designed to wring as much value out of its subjects as it can. The thing is, a system is a system. Therefore, there's ways to integrate. There is a process to integrate with it properly and disengage from it properly. And if I just looked at it from the standpoint of business because I realized the United States military has an EIN number, just like any other company, like the Sam's E-Box. That's how you get contract. It's like, oh, okay, so it's a business. And then it all clicked one day because I got high and went, ah, commander, CEO, first sergeant, COO, you know, executive officer, CFO. You know, how do I know? Because the XO, the brand new lieutenant, signs for the books, all the money, all the equipment. The commander says these are the directives. The first sergeant says, hey, he fucking cracks the whip on operations. And you got supervisors, sergeants, staff sergeants, platoon sergeants, section leaders, all that stuff. It's the same thing. It's a team in business and it's a family. The system is the same. The universe is analogous. So get good at one thing and then you realize that it applies to everything. The system to get good at anything, it applies to everything. Pareto's principle, you know, 80-20 rule, yada, yada, yada. You guys get it. Game theory. Yeah. Go Google some of this stuff. At the end of the day, if you understand game theory and realize that this life is an infinite game and that government and business is an infinite game, there's two types of games: finite games and infinite games. Finite games have finite rules, finite amount of players, finite amount of time. At the end of the finite amount of time, you have a winner and a loser. Infinite games, the purpose of the game is to keep the game going. So it's to manage resources, and the only way to lose the game is to stop playing or run out of resources. Once you understand that the system in itself is moving in an infinite game with finite games in between, and those finite games have rules, and those rules are out in plain sight. If you work and trade hours for money, that's all you're going to do. If you solve problems, the size of the problem that determines the size of the income. And you never know. You might have solved things that people are paying thousands of dollars to solve on a regular basis. I say all that to say a system's a system's a system. We have to divorce our feelings from what's happening in the world because we have to understand that in our circle of influence, things we can do something about, we tend to take care of that and it helps us grow. Circle of concern is like the news and everything. And if they show you something and all it does is make you feel helpless and go, I need somebody else to solve this problem. Understand that that's by fucking design, you know? A system that's been around for eons has controls in place, religion being one of them, being the most obvious one of them. Laws, like if you just live like a decent person, I promise you, you won't break any laws. But as soon as you focus on those laws, you realize, like, oh man, I can't believe where the focus goes is what grows, man. I'm not just saying be ignorant. I'm just saying be conscious of your environment, you know, and the people that you're around and the things that you're around because that molds who the fuck you are on a regular basis because that's what your brain is trying to solve. It's called the RAS, the reticular activating system. You know, you buy a car, you go home and all of a sudden you see the car all over the place. Ladies, you ever get a dress and then you go to a party, I'm like, fuck, I got this dress. Other bitch has this dress. I'm like, no, everybody's always had the dress. You got the dress. Now the dress is on your mind, so that filters up, and you go out and you start seeing it. That's all that is. It's called the reticular activating system. It's the same thing that if you need to make something and build something, start a stream, invest, and all that, you got to write down and focus on that maniacal focus. The level of work it takes to be good at anything is so ridiculous. It's offensive if you don't like what the fuck you're doing. Bloodstained Believer says, I do that with cars. The second I get one, I start seeing more of them. Brother, it's called being human. The reticular activating system focuses where you go, where you make that direction. When you buy a car, you do unconsciously make that direction and put that in your head. So you start making those associations. Reality converges and collapses down to your observation. So if you look at it from that standpoint, that's not me saying anything smart. This is published work. Anybody with Google or a large language model or maybe a regular education would understand. Paid attention in school is still getting high. Anyway, I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying, like you're human, and that's cool that somebody like you get that personally. Because most people look at me and like, well, I don't think that's why. I'm like, dude, I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just saying this is my experience, and you can literally go try it for yourself and prove me wrong, and come back and go, Max, you're a fucking asshole. Yeah, it's a human thing, man. It's even when you're a child, like an infant where you can't talk, that's already there because it's getting built to understand the patterns. Because we have to remember that 93% of human communication is body language and tonality, so only 7% is the actual words. In other words, a baby can hear everything you're saying 93% of the time. Everything, because he sees you, feels you, and then a baby is so raw in emotion and it hasn't been calloused that they know when mom feels bad and feels bad. It's all that getting built. And as that goes on, that's why they call your beginning years your formative years. It's your format of years. It's when the hard drive gets formatted, right? And that's from conception to around 8. So at that time, your values are fairly established. How to who's who and whatever. If you think back to when you were 8 and what was what you were scared of or something that you were protecting yourself from, that's usually where a lot of things stem from. That age group, around 8 to 12, and then of course from that point up until 23 to 26, your prefrontal cortex, according to modern day science. Again, just based on what I read and personal experience, I bro scienced my way here, and then got high and got good at numbers and realized I can do this. So it's good. I didn't get good at numbers. I realized that there were numbers were made sense, and I could follow what happens. I mean, I got good. It means started not getting in the way of myself going, because I used to think I was bad at math. I say all that to say, troops at borders. I don't know, man. I think that's. I thought that was the purpose. I mean, even growing up, we had this thing back home called the patrol boat, and all it does is go to the borders and patrol. It doesn't go invade other places. Not that we have any. And that's the crazy part is the only what's the reasoning behind going to another place instead of just stopping at our borders, and that's where things get murky, you know. Because when they say we're going to give money to this country, they don't give money to that country. They give money to U.S. corporations to go to that country and operate there. That's what they mean when they say give money to a country. They don't give dollars. The only time I've seen that was during wartime, and that's a whole different animal. We're not going to go down that road. It's too hot. It's too hot in the streets. Yep. It's when you told them the truth, you take the control away. And and that's a good way, man. You're a good man. You're a good man. Like they had that color, you influenced them, and then you told them. That's how you teach. Because I started, man, that's just looking at you saying that made me think of how my grandfather, even my dad, raised me. Because like it was things that I didn't think mattered, and next thing you know, you're in your 40s, and you're going like, "Fuck, that, God damn it, it's just makes so much sense." And then you realize the bullshit that you would have had to go through if you didn't know any better. And then I'm grateful, bro. I was my father came and spent a couple of days with me, like a week, almost a week, and we got it was and that was the craziest thing because he wasn't business. He wasn't. It was on to come. I just want to come and see my bro. That's when I realized I was on the right track. It's just all he said was it took you long enough. Like fuck. Yeah, I guess. But we're here. Yes, sir. Once and that's all that is, man. And once you get, that's why it was weird once I kind of start thinking about it. Like as soon as you hit like 26 on average, from that point on, nobody can change your mind. You have to go through that yourself, because whatever's there, It's the dangerous thing is where it's not what you don't know, it's what you know for sure that just ain't so. That's gonna fuck you. You know, that's Mark Twain, Sam Clemens. But it's why I was still dumb about it until 40 when I had to have a traumatic experience baseline my entire system and go, oh fuck. Like all the emotions had nothing to do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, you see that? And that's what I'm talking about, bro. I got no room to judge. That's why I'm just here letting people know. You were 27. I was 40. Yeah. You know, I grew up with no electricity, so I usually say, you know how in America when people get an idea, a light bulb comes on? Bro, I'm from such a primitive place. It took a long time for those fucking pile of sticks to catch fire. That is ridiculous. That's why even in the comedy community, bro, I got no room of judgment. I'm learning from everyone, man. Shout out to AJ Valentine. I watched that fucking kid like literally overnight. Was like, oh, I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life. It's like, oh shit. No matter what, I know what I'm doing. He found out the infinite game he was gonna play, and I've watched that man fucking see that for himself and not care how what anybody says. This is just what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And even if it doesn't feel good some night, and it's that's the crazy part. And all these people are 26, 25, 23, 28, and some of them in their 30s. And I'm fucking like an old dude. You know, my peers in I don't fuck. It's crazy because comedy is one of those weird resets that you get. Like my peers in comedy are not even the same age as I am. You know, because I've been doing comedy for about 6 years this year. Let's say I'm so broke. When I get an idea, the light bulb doesn't come on. I get a note from the power company that says you can't afford that. This is fucking. That's classic. That's freaking classic. Oh, I gotta turn that shit off. That shit looks weird as fuck. Oh, and it makes it slow. Oh, I got one for you guys. Dave's Insanity Sauce. As you can see, started off as a dare, ended up as a staple. Where's the thing? The thing I like reading that. Oh shit, bro! I had a JK Rubicon for a while. Bro, I this start off as a bullshit fucking dare one day. This kid from a place called Rockmart, Georgia, came over and was like, "I bet you can't eat some of this." And I ate it. It was really hot, but then it's like, "Oh wow, it actually tastes good." There's other things, uses. Sups, soups, stews. Also strips wax floors and removes driveway grease stains. Enjoy. I used to think it was bullshit. But yeah, it will literally do the oil slick. Alrighty. Gonna drop two. Bro, chicken wings? That's enough. Let's go. Next time, if you're in a hurry, put some of this on your lunch. You're gonna eat it really fast. Then you're gonna sweat for the rest of the day. I'm already sweating. It was 1.5 drops. I swear to God, they put crack in Pringles. There's no other way that they're gonna brag about that. Once you pop, you can't stop. If it wasn't for the hot sauce, I'd have ate this whole thing. The other one is this one. It's just scorpion sauce, Tabasco, but scorpion pepper. And as you can see, you know, I'm eating it. My nose is already sweating. Bro, it's ridiculous. Cleaning fucking driveways. It's so fucking ridiculous. All right. Go with the mm-mm-mm. Remember the stuff vinegar based. Yeah, this stuff is vinegar based. Scorpion sauce. It's pretty good. A little sweet. Blood Stand Believer said, my son did a ghost pepper hot sauce and said he can handle it and cried for 2 hours and blood laughed for 2 days. Bro, classic. I don't know, man. My kids, like, even if it was hot, they just, and they would just eat. Like, that's something that they grew up and their mom good as shit. Make sure they understood the value. But man, I was hot sauce all day. That's because taste buds got jacked. That's why I was like happy when we did the dinner stream. Sure, I gotta make sure I don't have stuff on my hands. 'Cause yeah, that's why that dinner stream was fucking cool because the food was so good I didn't have to put anything into it. You know, I was like, fuck, that kind of makes sense now. The whole steak and don't put nothing on it when the meat's good. They had the lamb. That shit was amazing. And I forget the skewers where they were cutting off the skewers. I gotta make reels with that, man. But the lighting was so bad that it was pixelated because I was in the private, like, nice little private area next to the cashier. So I was like by myself, and I could see the whole restaurant back to the wall. It was just nice. You guys hear that? Birds. And ooh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my drink. And last night, studio had spaghetti for dinner. Yo, yo, that was so fire, bro. Chuck Norris flashed the condom once, and then 9 months later, the Ninja Turtles were born. That's hilarious. Let's see what there's one. Oh boy, the homie James said, "What's up?" Shout out to that Mexican Elon Musk. Congratulations on the Wise Guys gig in Las Vegas. That was pretty cool. It's always cool to see homies winning. Yo, my homie's in town, Domingo. Oh, let's go. So he's going through with the game warden thing? Dude, that's tight. I remember when I was still fishing a lot, I remember running into a game warden and he mentioned that he was like the military in a sense. He was prior service military. And he said it was like prior service military in the sense that the game wardens, once you get done with the old things, you get a duty station or assignment. And the federal game wardens, they go all over America and to different and they have their area that they patrol and all that stuff. I was like, that's fucking crazy. I never thought about it that way. And then I realized in Texas, a federal game warden can walk in your house and check your fridge if you hunt. It's like, what? Like, yeah. Like, if somebody says some shit, like, hey, man, they saw you get something, and they can just come and look. And it's weird. It's weird laws when it comes to that. Anyway, that's a cool thing. That's definitely a cool thing. They're if they like being by themselves, if they enjoy working by themselves, solving fucking problems, and then learning to have people skills to deal with people from different cultures, would be great. And with the nature of the world now, with the internet and being able to understand things and actually research with a frame in mind of like being whatever I'm doing, it makes it a lot easier. Not so much easier, but simpler. It just takes effort. So cool. Oh shit! I forgot it is Bleefy time. Let me get this guy going. A little bit of this guy. Oh yeah, that's the whole point, man. If he really enjoys it, he's gonna have a long time to develop him. That's the whole point, man. We don't show up being the best soldiers. We show up and we meet a standard, and then we move on and grow accordingly. And then we look back at ourselves and laugh. And if we can't do that, boy, it's gonna be a rough life. But I gotta laugh. I gotta learn to laugh at myself. But for the most part, I just cringe at myself. At my past self, I look at it. I look at myself now, man. I look at my sets, especially when my intentions kind of shift during my sets, and you know, I'm not in the zone. I can feel it, and I just can immediately feel the energy fucking drop. And just eat shit and deal with it, bro, and come right back. But if you don't like it, that shit's harsh, bro. Yeah, game warden to be is much safer. You'll have time to grow, man. The whole military thing. Understand, it's just another company. You know, for some reason, people put so much value to it. Again, we're talking about the borders, and again, just another job. There's people that protect the borders that are not in the military. You know, there are GS employees and contractors, and hell, you can decide. You know, but Navy's as far as again, man, just if it goes into the Navy, go to the Navy, go to any branch because that's where you have an idea of what outcome you want, and you that structure suits what you want. That structure, that service, military, whatever, is not who the fuck you are. It's just a structure to develop who you are. Please, if you don't get anything from this applies to everything. It's just a structure to develop who you are. It is not who the fuck you are. When I joined the United States Army over 20 years ago, one of my favorite things about it was the motto was be all you can be in the Army. And the best thing that I heard was one of my veteran uncles said, be all you can be. He didn't say you're going to be a better person. He says be all you can be. So if all you can be is a piece of shit, that's all you can be. It had nothing to do with the military. They just gave you a place where you can be all you can be. And if all you can be is not conducive to that environment and not conducive to their goals, then you go somewhere else and you leave, or you, worst case scenario, you fuck up and you go to jail. But at the end of the day, everything augments who you are. Don't make this world determine who you are. A bloodstained believer says, I knew it from a young age. My life was going to be a challenge, and that's why I did the skills like roofing, drywall, and framing work. Yeah, bro. When you learned a lot sooner than I did. I don't know anything. I can't say that that's what happened to me. What I can tell you is that I don't know anything outside of what I grew up in, and I don't talk about it as much because of the whole. I don't like coming off as the uphill both ways guy. I just want people to understand that no matter like the worst thing that's happened to you is the worst thing that ever happened to you. And I say that because hormonally speaking, that's what it is. So if the worst thing that happened to me was me falling off a tree, and the worst thing that happened to someone is their kid dying, yes, those are drastically different. But hormonally speaking, your brain and your body does not know any different. You still got that dump of adrenaline and cortisol. Doesn't matter what happened. If it's the worst thing and it puts you to that point, condition black, heart rate up there in the 200s, you know, bilateral symmetry and all that stuff. That's what you go back to, man. And that's why every challenging school in the military and anything, what they do is they tax your body and they tax your mind. They tax you overall as a person. And then they ask you to make critical decisions. And they do that in training. Oh, this is a blue jay. There's a blue jay or the cardinals back. They kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't choose to live a rough life. I kind of fell into it from by default. And even for me, I as of right now, don't think I lived the great. I lived a charmed fucking life growing up. And the part of me that thinks that life was hard for me, it was is had partial information. I was a kid. I did not realize that not only were my parents being parents, like keeping us alive and making sure we survive and the usual how to take care of a kid, they were literally navigating a country that was still getting itself established and technically non-existent in the world stage, and they were the ones building it. My parents and their peers and everybody their age. And that is, bro. Shout out to the bloodstained believer, man. He says, "I've lived a great life. Now I'm blessed to have my wife. She's molded me into a humble man, bro. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's business, money, just life. Period. The most important decision a man has to make is who they spend the rest of their life with. It's in their life partner, their wife. Because at the end of the day, man, we at the risk of sounding like every other fucking yapping person on here, we literally walk out. You're honest with yourself, and I know you are. What we were talking about it all the time, bloodstained believer. Like you're always out there hustling and grinding and do something and bettering your people around you and yourself. And to have somebody else there that sees that and goes, well, I'm going to make sure that that happens on my side by making sure that when he gets home he's not hungry and the kids are taken care of and you know gets a little bit of fun every now and then, go out, look at the stars, you know. Bro, that sir is called good business. I know you say your wife taking a loss to marry you and you're grateful she decided to. That's called a front end loss for a back end gain. I'll explain it in store terms. It's like that sale they have at a store. And you walk in, and like Walmart, man. They put the front end, like, yeah, this thing is too good to be true. They make no money if I buy this. But you hang around Walmart long enough, you're leaving with $100 worth of shit. So, yeah, she might have take that front end loss, but I think you guys as a whole are getting the entire back end gain. I appreciate it that there's people like you guys, like you in my fucking stream, bro. Because most people are out here just trying to tear people down and going like, "Hoo, you guys are shit." I'm like, no, we're talking about fucking real life, man. This isn't a TV show where it's scripted. We're people talking to each other. And the cool part is, this cost us no money. We're just over here having a fucking conversation, and because this is the beginning of a long conversation that we're having. And then after this, everybody else who wants to have a conversation are going to have to pay to put their names up top. That's what I found out. What that one homie was asking, like, why can't I super chat? I'm like, I haven't met the requirements yet. Excuse me. Ah, holy snikey! How did I get in here? Oh no, that's not cool. Spliffy. guys. Alrighty. Yeah, people don't even. Like I said, man, if you're playing an infinite game, if we're playing this game of me here talking, me going on stage, me participating in the world in this system, if I'm playing this until they throw dirt on me, what logic would there be in being a dick to anyone? We're playing this, all of us, whether you know it or not. You're playing this until they throw dirt on you. And in a world where the internet and made it so small that I tell a joke in another country and then family members of mine in another country go, hey man, you might want to chill the fuck out. In a world that small where the internet has made it that way, in a world where you can see the immediate consequences of your actions almost. Is for some reason people still don't see. The thing is you don't have to see that. Like you know what you most people that are being dicks, they know what they're doing. They know the reaction that they want, and they understand generally what is. It's a control thing. What they don't understand is in the long run. Bro, I've been a comic for 6 years, about to be 6 years this year, and I've been doing the same thing. As you guys can see, I started this 2021 on YouTube. I just didn't know how to do it. Learning. Just been doing this shit, the same thing. Just whatever little content here, Instagram, go on stage, writing for people and being a decent human and just not trying. Like, I understand it takes 10 something years to get good at something. So I just keep, like, working on it. But in the last 5 or 6 years, I've seen people evolve, not just evolve, but like they're trying out personalities. And I just, like, there's been 5 different people in the last 5 years. And it's different when it's like people trying things and doing the podcast and doing whatever. And that's just life. That's us doing, figuring it out. But like an entire personality, like, oh, I'm a dark this and then I'm this and I'm aware of this and I'm aware of this, or some people are like, I'm gay for now. Fucking no. Anyway, this is me being me, and that's my favorite part of this is the fact that there's still somebody here talking to me. It's cool. Because outside of this, there's nothing. It's literally, this is just me. You just see me on stage, I'll be talking about the same thing. It's just going to be fairly structured a certain way. Different energy. If you're talking to me in person, it'd be just like having this conversation. The difference is I'll be shutting up and listening to you. Oh yeah, that spaghetti last night was like spaghetti with meat sauce, but it was meat, bro. Like I got done, and you know how like you get. It was. I like how there was much more beef in there, and I think she might have cooked that with in like bacon grease or something. It's so good, but the last the last forkful was just beef and meat and then like two spaghetti strands. It was like this is like perfect. It was so much meat. I was full. Pause. goulash. Is that like everything in like? Oh, that's borscht. Oh, borscht was the one Miss Marina used to make. That shit was so fucking good. Especially when I drank alcohol, and then like the next day, I'm like, oh, that's how Russians survive this. They drink that fucking much, and they just eat borscht the next day. Boy, this is a good combo. It's like lemon OG and what's lemon and grape OG. Elbow macaroni with beef and chopped onions, mushrooms. Oh, fuck, bro. I just drooled reading that. My bad. My bad, guys. But that sounds good as fuck. Elbow macaroni with beef, chopped onions, mushrooms. Take a picture of that shit. I'm writing it. Yeah, I took a screenshot of it. So I can write it down. Amish butter. Oof. I've been obsessed with this Irish butter. Fucking love it, bro. Put that shit in my coffee. On everything. Cooks so good. And for some reason, I- Irish butter looks like butter. Is that weird to say? It's like actually yellow, like the butter yellow. Oh, bro, I haven't had potato bread, but I heard it's good. Like they make that. There's different types of flour. Got a bunch at the studio. It can wear it. Oh no, it has a name on it. God damn it. They can hide the name. No, you can't have that. But you can get loaves of potato bread at the store. I have to check HEB. Okay, let's go. This is good. I'm a fucking goofball. Fucking, I don't miss this at all. No, not at all. I don't miss this one bit. Not one bit. I don't. I don't. I like this hot better. Oh, time. It's noon time. That means it's 1 p.m. Eastern. So let's see. Anyways, you're closing it down, right? No, no, closing it down. Just total years, 18. Sorry, 107.14. That's part of a leg. So yeah. Uh-oh. Well, that was a prepared man, sir. Says Bloodstains, when his uncle passed, he has so many loaded guns in his apartment. His brother had to go in and unload them all before the EMTs would go in. It was crazy. Yeah, I don't blame him, man, because people like that usually have something in there. And also, family member would know not to fucking touch triggers or mess with anything. You know how it is. Shit, when I had to move, I didn't even fucking go there. You're supposed to. Yeah, like you got to be able. You got to be able to fucking like navigate your shit in case people are fucking assholes, and you got to take care of things, man. He set up a map for just in case. I know these motherfuckers. It's either these people are cool, these are the homies, or this is what the houses I'm going to hop to, or these motherfuckers deserve everything that's coming. One way or the other, the man was prepared. Preparation, how you apply it, that's a personal thing. But the preparation in itself, sir, that is neutral. That is a when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That all the kids are talking about.
Okay,
Hello, valuable consumer. I just wanted to let you know that today there's a new product on the market that all the kids are talking about. Running the Light has been reissued by Random House. I wanted purchase this new $18 object, you get a new foreword by Doug Stanhope. You get an excerpt of my forthcoming novel, Brew. Whoa, that's like a whole chapter in the back. You also get the book that literally everyone loves. And if you haven't purchased this book, does this not entice you? Look at these great blurbs on the back. Look what Shane had to say at the top. Wow, what a nice thing to say about your buddy. Thanks, Gilly. Go out, get the book wherever fine books are sold. Because if you haven't read this book, what are you doing, you fool? It's all your friends are talking about. And if you have read it, well, there's some new slop to entice you into buying it again. Because at the end of the day, this is a product. And while it might be a staggering triumph of literary merit, it's still a product. It's $18. And I'd like if you bought it so that I can ram it down the throat of publishing. Thank you. Hello, valuable consumer.
That's the homie Sam Talent. Go buy his book. Oh shit. Oh, I made a miss. Damn it, man. Damn it, man. I have to fix it. This studio's going to be fucking pissed. I'm at least not gonna get yelled at for a little bit. Yeah, the map of his neighborhood. Like, yeah, hey man. 7 P's. Prior preventive performance prevents piss poor perform. Prior preventive planning prevents piss poor performance. Yo, bloodstained believer. Thank you. Hey man, post the Jeep's progress. We're down for it. We'll go live. Let me know. Let me know if you can't go live. We'll hit me up. I'm on IG. And if not, fucking I'll put the contact stuff on X and all that stuff in an email. So hit me up. We'll go live and show your shit. Or we'll just go live when you're done. And then you show the whole process on your shorts. All right, man. Thank you so much. Guys, this is awesome as always. Whew. So we had Dave's Insanity Sauce with some scorching hot sprinkles. Scorpion sauce. Thank you guys so much. As always, it's always a great time hanging out with you guys and get blitzed. I'm gonna get ready. We gotta take care of some stuff and one love, y'all. Be nice to one another.